Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. So it's US Open week. It's the second major of the year. Really exciting. If you're a golfer, you should be excited. If you're playing, you should be very scared. The course at Oakmont looks brutal. And I think it's going to be brutal regardless. And you can't really win. If it stays dry and the weather stays good, the greens are just going to be unbearably quick. They're going to firming up with rough around the edges of the greens. Very tough task. If it rains, yes, it's softer, but that thick rough, if you're missing fairways, you are in for not only a troublesome day, your wrists are going to be hurting as well because you are going to be hacking out for your life. So, who do I think is going to win this week? Well, it, it's a tough one. I've predominantly gone European this week. I'm envisioning a European winning. I've got two guys, and I think they could do well for completely different reasons. First one, Sergio. So Sergio, in a great bit of form, won on the PGA Tour this year already. And then I'm thinking Stenson, Henrik Stenson. I love his attitude. I think he could do really well on a course like this. And the reason I say I think they'll do well in different ways is when a course is so difficult, all the players are going to struggle mentally. Sergio, you feel, can sometimes struggle on a driving range. He is quite up and down anyway. And I think he could actually use that to his advantage this week because the way that you'll be playing, bad things are going to happen and you're going to need a bit of flair as well. So, like I say, Sergio's bouncier up and down mentality, I think he can almost play to that in his advantage rather than trying to shut up shop. I'd like for him to maybe be a little more aggressive than the others. He's great off the tee, so that should help. He's great with his wedges, and I think his putting is not as bad as people have been making out. And if you look at the stats, that's suggested as well. So I like Sergio because of that. I think he can play to his advantage. Very much a confidence player. He's got that from the win already this year. Sergio, I'd love to see Sergio win. Stenson, bit more level than Sergio, but the thing is with Stenson, and if you look at his wins previously on both the PGA Tour and the European Tour, is when he sniffs a victory, he goes for it. He becomes superhuman. When he won the Players, I know that's going a few years back now, you just knew he wasn't gonna falter. He just kept pushing and won by a massive margin. I could see him doing that this week. He's got a very powerful game with the rough being the way it is. That could be a factor. So yeah, I like those two. We've got Justin Rose. So Justin Rose, previous winner. So we know he's got the game. And I'm thinking that he could maybe use the injuries that he's had in the last few weeks to his advantage. Again, going into a week that's going to be so tough, having slightly lower expectations, being a little more relaxed could be the way forward. So yeah, Justin, it looks on social media like he is fully fit. So assuming he is, Justin Rose, could he add another major title? Could he add another US Open? It would be interesting, and I see no reason why he can't. Then we've got the big three: Rory, Spieth, Day. Rory, you never know. If he's on, he's unstoppable. He needs to keep it out of that rough. I don't feel like his putting is where it needs to be to really scramble. So whereas Jordan may be able to be a little more ropey from tee to green, I don't feel like Rory's got that option. But Rory's ball control is so good. If he can keep it in the right places on the greens, that is probably more important than actually how good you're putting. You look at the stuff on the social media at the minute with the greens. If you're hitting it to the wrong places on these greens, you're going to struggle. Jordan is arguably the best putter around at the minute. If you put him in places on those greens that are above the hole, loads of slope, he's going to struggle. So Rory could do it tee to green. Spieth could do it in and around the greens, and then Jason Day sounds like he's been a little ill, so he flu-like symptoms. So again, it'll be interesting to see how he's feeling. It might be that sort of Justin Rose effect. A lot of pressure on him going in with what he's been doing so far this year. So maybe being a bit ill will give him a little perspective, take a little bit of pressure off him. He hits that bullet iron off the tee. He hits it out to about 280, sort of his 2-iron. If he can do that, keep it in play. Dave's putting is phenomenal as well. He seems to be the most rounded player out there at the minute. So if he plays well, he should win by default, but that's not really breaking news because he's world #1. But yeah, to win this week, I think it's very much been able to be in the right places on the greens. It's always easy to say we don't want to miss any fairways, but the way golf is, you will at some point. But a classic example could be you hit it in the rough, wedge out, and then by trying to be aggressive to make your par, if you then hit it the wrong side of the pin on the green, you're then going to struggle with the putts as well. And this is where a few double bogeys are going to come in on a course that it's just not going to give you your birdies back. People talking like US Open, they like to have the winning score in around level par. People were talking about sort of +5 going on what I've seen so far. And again, I haven't been out there. If you know the course better, or you've even had the opportunity to get out there, give me some comments on this video, because it would be great to hear what you've got to say. But going on what I've seen, yeah, I don't see anybody breaking par. And if it stays as firm as it is, and it firms up, these greens could be very, very tricky come Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, really looking forward to it. I know a lot of people, sometimes the US Open, they go, it's a bit too hard, you're making the players look silly. I think it's a great test. It's a one-off event. We all know what we're expecting. They know what they're expecting. Can they deal with it? They're my picks. If you've got anybody else that you think is going to do well, get it in the comments down below. Like I said, I've stayed very much in Europe. I see a European victor. If you're an American watching this and you think, hang on, I know an American that could do exceptionally well, again, argue, get in the comments. But I think it will be a great week regardless, and I hope to catch you soon.